Michael Boyle for Stack.com again. The next thing we want to talk about is this idea, what some people call butt wink. Why do some people end up in this posterior pelvic tilt when they're squatting? So if I'm in this situation and I go to squat down here, why am I going to roll back that way? I think we get two schools of thought. I'll be honest, my school of thought is that that's a lateral hamstring situation. Because as I'm squatting, what should be happening in reality is my hamstrings are lengthening. Even though I'm going down, my hamstrings are lengthening because I'm trying to maintain that anterior tilt. If my lateral hamstrings are short, I think that's going to pull me into posterior pelvic tilt. So for us, if we're trying to correct what some people call butt wink, that posterior tilt at the bottom, that loss of lumbar spine integrity at the bottom, I'm going to go after somebody's lateral hamstrings. That's going to be my first thing. So we're very, very particular about hamstring stretching. What we want to emphasize here when we look is that this foot is going to be up. This is going to be straight up. That one's got to be straight down. And when we stretch, what we don't teach, most people are going to think, okay, I get into this position, now I'm going to lean over and try to stretch my hamstrings. We're going to give him a very solid cue of trying to bring this side of his pelvis. So we talk about the idea of moving the pelvis against the fixed femur. If we've got somebody who's really tight, we might even ask them to grab their leg and hold that there, and then just kind of open and close the door a little bit, where he's going to come back and he's going to gradually, and most people will feel a stretch in an area where they've never felt it before, in terms of up high in this lateral hamstring area, right up into their lateral glute. And people who are tight, the butt winkers, when they start to roll around, just let it go when you come around. He starts to turn his pelvis, this is going to fall out that way. So what we're going to do is really work on trying to position that both at the bottom. So if you were looking at me, my bottom foot is pointing straight ahead, and then here my top foot is straight ahead. So I've got to be lined up perfectly in line with both feet, and then move my pelvis against my fixed femur, so I'm gaining length in that lateral part of my hamstring. The other thing, if we talk about butt wink, some people say it's a core problem. And if it is an anterior core problem, then we're going to go after it the same way we go after all of our anterior core issues, in terms of we're going to look at planks, we're going to look at rollouts, we're going to look at our anterior core progression as something that's going to help us fix this butt wink in the squat. I'm Mike Boyle. Join us next week for another episode of Elite Performance on Stack.com.